David Dobrik decided to release an apology video last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. And he didn't title it anything. He titled it 03-22-21. And it seems super, super duper genuine. And I totally believe him. And he's perfect. And I forgive David completely and entirely. And David could do no wrong. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching my video. And we'll see you on the next one. That's what I would say if I was literally a piece of garbage. However, I'm not. David Dobrik released his apology, like I said yesterday, at an ungodly hour. And he started the video off by saying, "Hi guys," and slowly sitting down behind the camera. Take a look at this section, and then we'll talk about it.
Hi guys, it's 1:45 in the morning, and I'm finally by myself, which I know it doesn't sound that crazy to be by yourself at 1:45 in the morning, but
so relatable, David. Being alone at 1:45 by yourself. Holy cow, dude.
This week's been pretty hectic, and there have been a lot of people around telling me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me, most importantly, and that was a lot, and now I just want to be able to do this and just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys.
You mean like the PR team that decided to help you make this video?
Hey guys, it's David. I want to come on here real quick and address some conversations that have been going on the internet. I've made over 600 videos.
And just a reminder, he titled it "Let's Talk" and then had the comments turned off. So, I mean, wow, they really did help you there, buddy. Congratulations on losing over hundreds of millions of dollars in sponsorships and then finally coming forward to make this video.
I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and I've never done this respectfully, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video. I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear. What this video isn't going to be is it's not going to be me discrediting Trisha, Kat, or any other woman involved.
So far, so good, folks, right? He's not going to discredit any of the women involved. He's not going to discredit Trisha, and yeah, I guess we'll see where he goes with this one, right? Literally, like, the bare minimum is to not discredit the people who literally exposed you with the evidence. I mean, like, what? Like, literally, Trisha came forward with this whole thing in the very beginning. Nobody believed her. Nobody listened. David let it ride out, right? And then he's like, "I'm not going to discredit her." Like, that's not the bare minimum, dude. The proof and the evidence is already out. You can't discredit them.
I'm going to be using words that may trigger some survivors, and that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely, and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was assaulted by him. As was reported, the next day I got consent to post the video. Even though I got the consent to post that video, I should have never posted it. And what I understand now, and I didn't understand before, is that she sent that text because she felt like she had to, not because she wanted to. And that's f***ed up, and I'm sorry.
But the part that he seems to be forgetting is that he absolutely didn't just ask for consent later, right? Which doesn't make any sense, because you should ask for consent first and then do the piece that you're going to do. Just, like pretty much everything else in this world, if you ask for forgiveness later, that's kind of an awful model, and you're going to, run into situations like this. Ask for permission first, shoot your bit, you're good to go, right? All this could have been avoided if you would have just asked for consent, but instead you orchestrated, facilitated, and encouraged people to go out and hurt other people. Not only that, you filmed it and profited greatly off of this. Multiple millions of dollars off of other people's suffering for what? For money. That's it. For money and for views and for clout.
When she later reached out a couple months later to take the video down, I immediately took it down. And I want to apologize to her and her friends for ever putting them in an environment that I enabled that made them feel like their safety and values were compromised. I'm so sorry.
He didn't just make them feel unsafe. they were unsafe. And because of his actions and his friend's actions, of course, David's not the only one here to blame. Where's Dirty Dom with this whole situation? He's the one who, committed the full crime. He's the one who did the whole thing. And David was a part of that, so he's definitely an accessory. But where's Dirty Dom in this whole thing? You guys didn't make them feel unsafe. They were unsafe in your guys' care. You guys gave them alcohol to loosen them up and then proceeded to allow sexual misconduct. Absolutely disgusting. It's despicable. It's beyond gross. And it's not just David's fault, of course. It's Dirty Dom as well, and the rest of the vlog squad. And on top of that, even if they did consent to the act, let's say hypothetically, right, that they consented, you guys kept busting in with cameras. How is that not going to make somebody feel or make them unsafe? It is. It does. That's an intimate moment, even if they consented, which they did not, right? That would make them feel unsafe and uncomfortable. But you guys are busting in with cameras and stuff, filming them. And sure, you said you removed the bit and whatever when they asked you to, but like, come on, dude. How is there not a thought in your brain?
I was completely disconnected from the fact that when people were invited to film videos with us, especially videos that relied on shock for views or whatever it was, that I was creating an unfair power dynamic. I did not know this before. It was completely wrong, and I wish I was more responsible, and I wish I was more aware at the time, and I'm so sorry I missed that. I didn't know what was going on in that room.
David, you were completely disconnected, and you did know what was going on in that room. I mean, look at this. Just because it's deleted doesn't mean it's gone.
After a couple minutes of talking, it was clear there was no fivesome happening tonight.
You called it. Yeah.
But by some stroke of luck and master negotiating, Dom made progress.
Hey, Dom? We just need to get in there and do a head count for the vlog. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got 3 in there.
Jonah's gonna peek in so he can describe it to me.
Oh my god.
And for those of you who don't know what Dom's master negotiating skills were, it was copious amounts of booze to then, have these women lower their guard enough to, bring them back to the room where they couldn't leave.
And I should have been. I should have been there, and I should have been making sure that everybody involved was taken care of and wasn't uncomfortable. I don't want to use buzzwords to try to justify this or explain this.
I mean, David, dude, you literally were there. We can hear your voice in that last clip that I just played.
But all I can say is people felt like they had to be silent for the sake of my video. And that's not right, and it's fucked up, and I'm sorry. I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that address their problems privately or publicly. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you guys. I am sorry that I took Dom's word for what happened.
Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure him saying the name Allie and then, every other story I've read, it was a different name where their name was hidden or, bleeped out or blanked or something to protect privacy. And now here's David saying this. Mind you, it could totally be a completely different incident. I'm not 100% sure, but according to this Business Insider article that I was just reading, the names were changed for privacy reasons. So, I mean, that's a bad look in my opinion. At least he's apologizing directly to the people that he directly affected. It wasn't just Dirty Dom. David facilitated, orchestrated, and pushed this bit for the views, and it was viewed over 5 million times before it was deleted.
In those certain situations, and I didn't believe you. And not only did I not believe you, but I made a joke of what kind of a person Dom was, because I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that. Not only did I discredit you, Allie, but I platformed Dom. And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior. And I'm so sorry, and I really let not only you down, but a lot of people down, a lot of people that watch me and my friends and family for that.
And I could totally see, like, your friend, you knew this person, you're like, oh, they could never do any wrong, blah, 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 like totally, whatever, right? I could totally see that happening. However, you helped facilitate it There's no way that you didn't know that. In that vlog, you're right there watching what's happening, encouraging it, right? You're like, oh, that 5-some will never happen. And then master persuasion, you were part of that, dude. There's no way you didn't know what was right and wrong. You're grown up. You're an adult. You're an adult. Like, you knew. And not only did you not just let, those people down, you let so many other people down. You owned the women's sports team. You lost your Chipotle, your Bumble, your SeatGeek sponsors. You were kicked off your own $100 million app. You're not sorry to these people. You're sorry that you're going to lose millions and millions of dollars. But that it's really not going to matter at the end of the day because you're still a multimillionaire.
I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019.
Wow, David. Wow.
That's when I first started taking into account the power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with. But what I didn't do is I didn't go back to any of these women and apologize. I kind of moved on and I learned from it and I grew from it.
Did you actually learn and grow from it though, David? Because if you did, you would have gone back. If you grew, you would have clued in and then gone back to these people that you wronged multiple times. And I'm not just talking with the stuff with Dom. I'm talking Trisha, who, yes, is very problematic. Of course, we know this, right? Trisha has a huge track record of being absolutely horrible person. Absolutely. But two wrongs don't make a right? Just because somebody else has done wrong, doesn't mean that you shouldn't go back and apologize. Where's Trisha's apology, right? Their relationship between her and Jason Nash, absolutely toxic, but you didn't have to get involved at all. Continuing on as well, where is Big Nick's apology? Where's Trisha's apology? You have not grown, and it's clear. The only reason this is out is because you want sympathy views and you want your sponsors back. You lost hundreds of millions of dollars, right? That's it. And if you notice these perfectly strategic cuts as well, where he cries just enough for you to see him cry, and then it cuts to him back to being normal again, it's all for sympathy, and it really worked.
People that were still really hurt by what I made. Before my content shifted to be more responsible and positive, I said and did things that were really offensive, and I called them bad jokes, and I can't even call them bad jokes, and it was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark, because it's fucking gross, and I'm sorry.
Honestly, this part of the apology that we just watched was really not that bad. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this part of it where he admits to his last apology being, disgusting, and he shouldn't have just called them bad jokes, that kind of stuff. I like this part of the apology, but don't get me wrong, the rest of it is all pretty much bogus.
A lot of people reached out to me saying cancel culture is bullshit and you need to fight back and you need to call people out, and I don't agree with how this should be taken at all.
For me personally, I do think cancel culture is, BS, right? The thing is, though, when it's a situation like this where somebody's been using their platform to facilitate multiple, essays, right? Continuously hurting people, that kind of stuff, I think it's completely fine, right? When you're doing something like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head isn't whatever, different story. You're canceling a toy, dumb. When you cancel maybe a stereotypical character on a TV show, dumb, right? That kind of stuff is definitely dumb. But in this situation, you're using your platform to facilitate and harm people, then I think it's completely a different story. You shouldn't have a platform if you're going to use it for evil.
And I think when there is a crisis, there's a serious opportunity to correct yourself, to learn and improve, and to make sure those mistakes don't happen again. And that's why it is so important to hold yourself accountable. And I think with this situation, there's a lot I can look at and there's a lot I can learn from, but there's a lot of mistakes that I made. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for everybody I've let down. I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to my friends that I've embarrassed, and that this won't happen again.
It literally cannot happen again. That should be the main point. It literally should not have he should not have even the chance at letting it happen again, in my opinion, right? This isn't just a few mistakes here and there. It's all the way stemming from, multiple racist videos, right? To like, sure, you can blow it off as comedy, but you're making your friends the butt of the joke. But Seth, the girls from the vlog, right? Trisha, right? You have done so many awful things to so many people, right? Even going as far back as using people's phobias against them, like the caterpillar incident. That girl never is going to film with you again because you scarred her. You took something that was genuinely terrifying to her, covered her in them, and then for what? For views. This isn't just like a one-off or like maybe even a 2 or 3 off type situation. Was a continuous thing. Constantly hurting people for views. This is along the same lines as scummy prank YouTubers absolutely destroying people's lives for no reason. It's garbage, and this apology is garbage. And at the end of the day, absolutely, it's not for me to accept. It's for the people he's hurt to accept. But I mean, you have more apologies to put out for other people as well.
I'm going to take a short break from all the social media stuff because I realize there's a serious lack of infrastructure when I make any kind of content. And I want to be able to have a place of checks and balances. I want to have HR, and I want to be able to have people communicate discomfort in a way that's comfortable to them, and where they don't feel like their emotions or what they're doing or how they're acting is compromised.
It shouldn't be a short break. You shouldn't be putting people in situations where they could feel uncomfortable. That kind of stuff. Absolutely. Sure, you don't understand people's, emotions or whatever it is. Go see a therapist. Talk to somebody who might, be able to actually help you see from a human perspective instead of, your content brain. And I can totally understand the content brain type thing, right? I did pranks before. I had that same stupid mentality, right? But there is no way in hell as an adult you should be putting people in situations where they're going to get essayed, where they're going to get bullied, where they're going to, have phobias exploited for views. That kind of stuff is absolutely terrible, dude. Like, literally. This should be an extended break. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, while you go seek a therapist, while you go get mental health help, and maybe you can finally understand the pain a little bit of what you put on people.
It doesn't feel right to go back to posting like I have been, and it also doesn't feel right to go dark because I love what I do. But I think it is important to show that change is possible and that I'm learning, and maybe even forgiveness is possible.
Forgiveness is possible, change is possible, right? These kind of things are definitely possible, David, but an extended break, man, literally, do people deserve second chances? In my opinion, absolutely. I was not a great person 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I spent many, many years being a complete dirtbag. Absolutely. Change is 100% possible. And, I really hope that this was actually genuine and I'm just being, cynical or like extra judgmental or extra hard on him. I hope it's genuine. I hope he goes to go get help. Right? I hope that he can finally see what he has done wrong, because otherwise this is just all for nothing and then it's just going to go back to the same thing. I guess we'll see, right? Logan Paul changed after The Forest. It's possible to change. It's possible to, go get help, go seek help, cut off the people that are toxic and move forward with your life as you mature. 100%. Second chances are possible, but it's got to be an extended break. If you just go back to trying to make your millions of dollars again, it's going to look really bad, in my opinion.
But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was all over the place. I just wanted to sit and talk and ramble, and I really, truly hope that someone can take something away from this experience, that another creator can take away from this. And I know it feels, because I know how crazy it felt to me, that there was some sort of toxicity or some sort of power dynamic in my friend group. But really just take the moment, especially when creating content that you're trying to get viewership out of or you're trying to get laughs out of, like really take a moment and look at where the jokes end and where the feelings begin, because I think that's so incredibly important. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.
After all of that, I think it wasn't very genuine. It took him so long. It took him losing so much money, so many views, so much stuff to finally put out this apology, and it was extremely well received by his stans. They were willing to follow him to the end of the earth, even if he massacred puppies. right? Do I think he deserves a second chance? At this point, no. In the future, maybe. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he actually changes, right? It's definitely entirely possible to change. Like I said about the Logan Paul situation, Logan Paul changed, right? So maybe we can see. Hopefully he actually does reach out to the victims of what's happened, of his vlogs, the victims in his life. Hopefully he reaches out to Trisha, Big Nick, all of these other people that he bullied and belittled over the years. And hopefully he changes. I mean, we'll see what Trisha has to say. We'll see what Big Nick says. We'll see what everybody says. And, well, I guess we'll go from there.